Hi, welcome back to Path to Purple. I'm Christen.
Robyn.
And today we're going to be breaking down the second album, which is Oh, Are You Late Too? So this one, still with the hip hop vibes, but definitely more songs on this than the first album.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what were your? Did you go first last time? Do you want me to go first?
You know what? No, you want to go song by song or overall?
Yeah,
or
you know what? Let's do song by song for this one.
Song by
Because
song?
I did take notes song by song for the most part. And yeah, I think we could go song by song and then just kind of give our overall thoughts on it. But let's start with No.
Let's start with No. So I gotta get to know.
What were your thoughts on No?
The beat. Listening. I was listening to the voices and the difference from then and now. I did like a comparison in my mind.
Okay.
From the range, the diversity in the voices.
Do you remember what current or more recent song you compared it to, or were you going based off of like?
I was going like, well, it was quite a few because I was watching videos and of albums I have not yet heard.
Okay.
So I was going by videos because I some of JK's work that's out now.
Golden, yeah.
Right. I hadn't listened to that whole album.
She's getting ahead of the class.
Well, I did. Well, you asked what song.
I know, but you mentioned that you were listening, you were comparing. So I was like, okay, well,
all right,
what have you been listening to?
JK, J-Hope.
You listened to a little bit of Jimin too.
Jimin?
Yeah, you did listen to a little bit.
So, yes, I did. And the video is right in my head right now. So so yeah, so that's what I was listening for, the difference in the voices with this one. But I liked it. It was
we watched the music video for this one. Do you remember that one? The one in the classroom?
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Right. Yes, we did watch.
It was really crazy. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit when we were discussing No More Dream. But yeah, the whole idea that you have this lifestyle that the adults in your life are trying to establish for you.
Yes.
And basically, so what I put down when I was looking at my notes, I said this is an anthem to step out of the life your parents and other adults lay out for you and to follow your dreams because it's your life, not theirs, which is a big thing with BTS. I feel like BTS is constantly, trying to reiterate to themselves, their peers, army, this is your life to live. You have your one life. Don't live it for anybody else. Live it for you.
Yeah.
And I did call this an anthem. I know I called "We Are Bulletproof,"
and
I feel like
they I was going to say "Bulletproof's" an anthem too.
But I feel like they may have an anthem in every
could very well be.
Album.
It could very well be.
So yeah, they talk about whether a nice car and house would truly make them happy, and how insane it is, the concept of literally stepping on your friends to achieve your success over them. And essentially pitting students against each other. That was crazy. The idea that like you have these friends, but society is telling you like they're not really your friend, they're your competition.
Right.
And you have to get ahead of them. The idea is to be better than them. Yeah. And that was wild. I mean, I guess in a sense we kind of have that here, but I feel like it's way more ingrained in them in that culture. I just it just seems like if it's something that became a subject of a song, like it has to be a pretty big deal, I would think.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
that's a percent.
But I do stand by it is an anthem.
That's okay. That's
then
okay.
That music video was so good. The music video, the whole idea of that they're just basically drones taking in information as it's taught to them, and they're just kind of fulfilling the blueprint that's set in front of them. And no, they don't want to be that. They don't want to be a lifeless robot that just does what they're programmed to do.
Yeah want to function outside of that.
Yeah,
very much so.
And I think the other thing I like is the kind of like fear or intimidation in the eyes of the adults in the music video when they start to shake things up.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like, oh gosh, what are you doing? Like, whoa, so sit down. We didn't teach you this. I think I like that, showing that these young people with their ambitions and their dreams and their paths for their own future are just going to shake up society.
Yeah. It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna make a difference.
And you want to go into the next one? We On. This one. I like this one too.
Which one?
We On. Yeah. So I wrote this song addresses those who doubted BTS and basically talked about how they wouldn't amount to anything. And it looks like they are citing specific comments made towards them and responding to each one, which I thought was pretty crazy. They won't name drop, but they do. When I say they won't name drop, I mean like those who are saying the comments. They don't name them specifically, but I bet there's like some secret list somewhere where they're just kind of like a for those anime people, the Death Note, that book. Those names are in a book somewhere.
I thought it being a clap back to those who projected the negativity.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
say what back. You want, but that's right.
And towards them, I that's what I looked at that, and that's what I heard. That fight that's in them.
That dog.
Yeah.
Dog, I do love it. RM stood out to me on this one. I feel like he even says swag in the when he's doing his intro, but yeah, I feel like he's got so much swag in his delivery.
Yeah. In the rap in this one?
Yeah. Well, just I feel like in the early albums, not that he loses it in the later albums, but I feel like in the early albums because he's given his origin in the underground rap scene, I feel like hip hop is his like second home. And I feel like these albums, he's so comfortable and he's so himself and he so embodies the words he's writing, the words he's rapping. I feel like it's a different level of RM. What we see when you look at like Dynamite and like Butter. I'm going to compare them a lot because that was my only reference. But when you look at those, they're fun and he's good. He's really good. But the hip hop, I feel like because, like I said, I feel like that's home to him. And yeah, he comes alive in a crazy new way when you hear him in his element. So I think those were my initial thoughts, like my overall thoughts. Yep, overall thoughts. RM. This guy.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
What's the next one? If I Ruled the World.
Oh, If I Ruled the World.
What were your thoughts on If I Ruled the World?
I'm trying to think of that one.
I know you're like waiting to get to the one that you really like, and I'll let you take the lead on that one.
No, let me. Wait, are you talking about?
Yes, I am, because that's the one you really like.
Okay. If I Ruled the World, that's a good. I don't know, not insight, but perspective from there to what they're actually living in. Their comparison of what's here and what you're living in, and if it was their rule, if they were in charge, if they were, it's
it's a crazy eccentric dream. I guess, yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, it's just like all the crazy things or the way they would live their life if they had that power.
Yeah.
At that time, it's like I put a young man's insane dreams if he had all the power in the world.
Yeah.
See, I do love that they mention in the chorus that the dreams are childish or ridiculous, but it's fun to think about. It's I think every young person
I was
has
gonna
that.
say that. Yeah. I
That
think
like,
well
oh man,
everybody has that idea of what it
yeah,
would be like if I was in charge.
yeah. If I was in
So
charge,
it's
how I would run
it's
things.
just their perspective, even at that time, their perspective being, different. Well, it usually is different, but their perspective.
I did like If I Ruled the World. I
Mm.
mean, it as far as my order of songs, it's not in my top, but it's it is a really good song. All right, let's go to the one you
I
like.
like
Okay.
it.
Oh wait,
I
no wait,
do.
no, it's Coffee. Let's go to
Yes.
Coffee. So Coffee, talk about Coffee.
I like coffee. I like
For
it. I
someone who
like it.
doesn't
I
drink
like it.
coffee,
No, I don't. I don't. But I like the way they their description
ties
of
into like the different
the
coffee
different
themes.
coffees.
Yeah,
Yeah, themes. That was like, oh,
it's
that's
creative.
like, yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
creative. Everybody can
But
kind of relate.
identify with that.
Yeah, everybody can relate to
Yeah,
coffee
yeah,
and
and
the different
identify with
tastes of different
the
coffee
coffees.
drinks
Yeah, and the different smoothness and whatever, and
and
it was just
boldness, bitterness.
right.
And
Caramel
so
macchiato.
it's like comparing a relationship or even a significant other to
Yes.
coffee, coffee based drinks. Yeah, it's sexy in a way that's not overtly sexy.
No, right, right.
It gives you that subtle
It's a good,
sexiness that you're
yeah.
like, ooh, ooh, and then it makes you want a cup of coffee.
Okay, well, yeah, and I don't drink coffee, but it is just the feeling of when somebody has a good cup of coffee
Hmm.
and they drink it and you can see it all over. They got it changes from the pre-sip to the sip. It's like, oh, there's a true difference. There's a real enjoyment there.
But it's also, because they do touch on the breakup, comparing it to like a bitter coffee
Yeah,
and that feeling where you had your idea of how this cup of coffee was going to taste and it's just maybe like a little too bitter
bitter.
or the grounds are a little too overcooked or something. um yeah, I think overall it touched on every aspect of both relationships
Hmm.
and
And
coffee.
coffee. Yeah, I did.
And
I like
coffee.
that. I
So
like that.
with like the sweetest syrupy vocals and it was so good. It
Yeah.
was so good.
That was
uh
the other thing about it. Uh,
yeah,
the vocals were really good on that.
I
Really
think
good on that.
JK really shined on
JK,
this
Jim, and
one.
Envy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, they did.
Yeah, I
The
think they
blending of their
really
voices
they're
was
so
really
good.
nice. Yeah, I like that.
The Maknae line.
Yeah.
uh
Mockney line.
it is the Maknae line.
Yeah.
They're
Yes,
great. They're
yeah.
chaotic together, but they also are beautiful together.
Yes, and they also blend well
Yeah, they
together.
blend very well together.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the next one is Cypher Part 1. The
Okay, we can
first
take that.
Cypher.
You can take that. Yeah.
So the rap line.
Yes, the rap
Okay,
line.
so my thoughts on the first Cypher. So I said there's a lot going on in this song, which there were, but I know it's the first of four. And I know it's the first of four because when I got into BTS, I heard the third one and I was like, oh, there's got to be at least two more. And that's when I found out it was four. Um, all of the ciphers addressed their haters, I believe. This one was no different. All of the people that came for them, basically putting them down, trying to knock them down a peg, uh, essentially just trying to belittle them in every way
Yeah.
possible. And the ciphers feature just a rap line,
Yeah.
which a lot of the BTS critics said they weren't really fit for hip hop, which again boggles my mind because RM and Suga started in the underground rap
yeah, in
scene.
the
Like,
underground,
how
yeah.
do you take two well-known, well-respected underground rappers and be like, "Oh, you guys are K-pop idols now, so you're not really hip hop"? Like, you don't know. Like, what did they lose it overnight? Like, well, I don't. They signed the contract and they just had amnesia about hip hop. They're like, "Oh yeah, we don't know this anymore." No, I think they were really reaching to try to tell them they didn't belong in that world, and the more they got the hate, the more they knew that they were in the right place. Let's see. RM addresses the criticism by saying he alone holds all of the spots of their top favorite rappers using different names he has gone by including leader and your dad, which I thought, I was like, sir, come on. He really was just like, oh, okay, well, bow down to me because not only am I the leader of K-pop, but I'm also like just as highly respected as your father, if not more. So say what you want, but he is the leader and the father of the third generation of K-pop. And a lot of other K-pop idols, K-pop groups look up to him as far as his leadership ability.
That's true.
And when you look how big BTS has gotten, the fact that he is at the forefront of that, like he commands all the respect.
I didn't know what a cipher was.
Oh yeah, you had to. You had to Google that.
I had to look that up. Yeah. A group of rappers standing in a circle or so, freestyling to a beat, and that's like off the top of your head sort of thing. And
now, granted, the ciphers that they wrote probably aren't fully like random off the top of their head, but I'm pretty sure, like, I can envision the three of them just sitting in one of the studios, just off the top of their head, coming up with all these things that they wanted to talk about, they wanted to address, and then you probably got RM in the corner just like, yeah, that's good, this is writing it down. and then Sugar's at the computer like, okay, I got a beat. Like, I feel like they probably put this together in like minutes, because they had so much they wanted to say, and they've got such a unique way of rapping that they knew exactly how they wanted to say it. I liked this one. There are the other ciphers I'm really excited to get into because I do really like some of the other ciphers. But on this album, yes, Cypher Part 1.
I'm going to say that she's always going to comment on the rap.
I am. I am. Always. I do have an affinity for the rap.
She does.
And the hip hop, I guess. That's I guess if you really break down like my favorite artists and stuff, it does ultimately come back to like hip hop and rap.
Yeah. Well, that was your growing up.
That was my first. Well, that was. Well, no, because it's not like we played rap in the house when I was young. I mean, no, not even really. I feel like you guys, you had Diana Ross and the Jackson 5 and Michael and Temptations. So like you had those that
Tina
kind
Marie. I had all that, but it was a lot of R&B.
It was a lot of R&B, yes.
But
I think I kind of threw you guys a screwball when I came up with Eminem. And I was just like, no, this little white boy rapper from Detroit, that's my guy.
Well, yeah, you
still is my guy. Still is my guy. He can do no wrong, even when he did do wrong.
No, that was your guy.
Stood by him when he flopped on that one. What was that? I can't remember. It's the one that blew album, the Blue Curtain. But yeah, that album, not his best one, but I still stuck by him because I knew he was destined.
Yeah, but in the era for which you grew up in, it was a lot of hip hop and rap. So there was that. And although that you didn't totally emerge like that, it was something
to keep me in Disney as much as you could.
Y'all tried. Nobody rapped in Disney?
No, really? But no, sure? Not really. They didn't start rapping in Disney until Moana. I was already too old for that, but yeah, when The Rock came in rapping, I was like, wait a minute. Disney gets down like that. Okay, no, we didn't really have a lot of rap in our
Daddy Disney listened to some, but
but like I remember Bone Thugs and Harmony. He randomly played Bone Thugs and Harmony. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Eminem was my in on that. That was when I realized, okay, this is my genre. This is the genre I love. I have so much respect for it. I love a good lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
Love a good lyricist. I love a good beat, but I feel like lyrics over beat for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're saying, like, it's one thing to say something, but it's when you say it so poetically, and it's like, how do you ignore that? Like, that's right. And that's why I think I'm really drawn to both Suga and RM. I know we're gonna have a bias talk later. I'm not. We're gonna have a bias talk later, but I feel like they were kind of, because I did think Jimin was my person in this group when I first got into them. All of 6 months ago. I thought Jimin,
drawn out.
Yeah, I thought Jimin was my person, and I quickly switched to Suga, and then immediately like here comes RM on his coattails, and right now it's those two. I love those two because of their lyricism and their their musicality is just, when we get into their solo stuff, like I'm excited about that stuff too. But yes, I am always going to come back to hip hop. That has a special place in my heart.
Right.
And I really do love it and respect it. So
yeah.
Cyphers.
So I just want to put that out there. She's gonna go.
That's where I'm gonna get excited.
She's gonna get excited there.
Yeah. Attack on Bangtan. Well, here we go. Like basically predicting the future. How they will basically become the greatest of all time, which, I mean, if they weren't, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But I do love that. I do love that one. It's loud. It's in your face. It is exactly what it is titled, an attack. But yeah, I did love that one. And then the Satori rap, where I remember we were watching this one, and you're just like, what is this? And I said, they're basically just rapping in their dialect.
Yeah.
And that's all I had. I was like, they're just rapping. I guess this could be considered like freestyle or whatever, but they're just like, hey, because they're all from different parts areas, of South Korea, and they have different dialects and different sayings and stuff like that in their phrases and stuff. In their dialect, different ways of speaking. So yeah, it was just a fun little rap. I say little, like I don't want to belittle it. It was good. Yeah. It was good, but
not little in that sense.
But yeah, it was like a fun segue in the album's message of, being an individual, living your life and all that stuff. And then, hey, we're gonna rap in our dialect just to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
And then the outro, Love in School. Ooh, vocal line. Yeah, I'm gonna let you speak on that one. Because my note on that is very basic.
Hold on. Let me get to this here. Where is it?
It's at the end. It's
I know. I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to find out where my.
Did you have a note on that one?
No, I didn't. I wonder why.
Because you were mesmerized by the vocal
probably because of just the vocals, just the blend, just the sound, just the.
Yeah, I didn't really extract like a deep meaning from this one. There wasn't a theme. It was just they were just serenading a girl to try to get them to fall in love with them.
Yeah, and
which, how can you not?
Yeah, and then they coffee came in,
Yeah, and then you get to coffee. Yeah. No, I did like Love in School as just a nice, dessert for the ears.
Yeah. Perfect.
Dessert for the ears.
Perfect.
Yeah, the vocal line delivered again with a beautiful serenade. And
JKV and Jin.
And Jimin. Yeah. And then close this out with that album. So all in all, like I said, my overall thoughts were RM. Those were my overall thoughts. I didn't have much more to say outside of that. But I did say on this one, we got more songs, we got more hip hop.
Right.
This one was more of the rap. Well, I don't know if I stand by that. I mean, I feel like the rap line did kind of show up in this album. I just feel like they took ownership,
especially with the Cypher.
And then there was a clap back to the haters. It was an album. It was an anthem to like get you to encourage you to live your life and be who you want to be. Show up for yourself. From what I've heard, they do clap back at the haters a lot. So we'll find that out in later albums.
Yeah.
The fact that they have so many haters means they are definitely doing something well.
Doing it right.
I was excited to get into the Cyphers. Got the first one, didn't disappoint. Then add in No and We On, and wow. Yeah. On the opposite spectrum, Coffee is such a beautiful song. I know it's about the end of a relationship, but the vocals are just so good, and JK always sounds amazing.
Right.
And then for favorite songs, did you have a favorite song?
Coffee.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why I asked that. I don't know why I asked that. I knew that. Yeah. But for me, okay, so when I thought it was going to be Cypher Part 1 going in, and I did love Cypher Part 1, but I was torn between No and We On, and I have both of those in my playlist. Yes. But I think I'm going to have to go with We On this one. There's something about RM in this album, in this song. I don't know. I just keep coming back to him.
That's all right. That's okay.
I like his style. I like his flow. I like his lyricism. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
His swag. I talked about his swag. He's so cool. Like, he's just so cool. And he knows he's cool. Like, he knows he's cool. Like, RM. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah.
He's the real.
I'm done. I'm done gushing. I love RM. I have the utmost respect for RM and his craft. And I think it's early. I don't want to say that he is like my ult or like my bias. Him and Suga are just, they're going to be the death of me.
Well,
they're going to take me into an early grave. The two of them. But I love it. It's great. I'll die happy. See, after I see him live. Yes, I did see him live first, and then I'll die happy.
No, let's see. All right, whatever. Listen, thank you so much for joining us this time around, and we will be back with the next album.
Are we coming back with the next album, or are we mixing it up? Are we doing Run BTS?
We're coming back with Run BTS.
Yes, we are. Yes, finally getting into the Run BTS episodes, and
we're gonna do that.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you to see them in their natural chaotic element. We're gonna take in a lot of content. I think we're gonna cover season 1, which is the first 10 episodes.
Yeah. But we're breaking. We're gonna break.
No, because they're short. So I think we can
knock them all out.
We'll see. We'll see how we feel.
All right.
But thank you so much, and bye.